is that sometimes when black people push it away from black Americans and they start talking about other black nationalities, they seem to forget about their own problem. And I think that the problem of black Americans needs to be dealt with first.
Well, listen to this.
Before that you could really...
Let me add something.
Okay.
In Mother Africa, as it's called by people, I hate to use the word Africa because we're not Africans, we're Nubians, but people won't know what you're talking about if you don't say Africa.
Right.
Okay? But in Mother Africa, like Ethiopia, their conditions are worse than mine and yours. And they are us.
Right.
In Sudan, there's something, droughts. Their conditions are worse than ours, right?
Right.
So, in reality, shouldn't we put attention on helping them? They're in a worse condition than we are, and then get to ourselves? I'm just asking, just a question.
Okay. I just feel like we need to help ourselves first before we try to help anybody else.
But that is ourselves. Those are our, that's Mother Africa. That is ourselves. And if the roots die, then the whole tree dies.
And I agree with that. But if we don't help ourselves first, then how are we going to be able to help somebody else?
Because we have 2 pieces of bread right now, and they have none. So if we just give them one, we both will raise up to the same level, and then make the working force stronger to move to the 3rd level. But if we eat both pieces of bread so we'll get strong enough to help them, masses of them in the millions would be dead. And they'll never be there when we come back to help them. See, they're dying literally of starvation on the streets in Ethiopia, in Somali, in Sudan. People are dying of starvation. By the time we get ourselves together, and you will probably know already, they like the white man, they like working for him, they like the way he treats them. It's going to take time to shake this here thing. You know how many brothers and sisters in Mother Africa are going to die this year while we're getting it together? So being me and you are healthy and our brain works and we have 2 slices of bread, I say let's share 1 slice of bread and bring our brothers who are dying to a point where they won't die at least, because the South African condition is just going to get worse. I think that we need to make some concentrated effort to do something about the conditions of the people in the Sudan from which we came as Nubians. Before we let them die, the white man will let our mother country die. You follow? Then go in, bring Christianity, and then you won't be any good to the people over there. Because you try to go to Africa and convert an African back to Islam after he accepted Christianity, you like talking to a brick wall. Because the white man brought with him the Red Cross and food. He didn't bring no machinery so they can become independent. He brought grain and rice and beans and clothes and the Bible and a white Jesus. And that man starts to look like their savior. Though he saves them in one respect, he murders them in the next.
Well, he's doing the same thing to us over here, and if we can't get it together over here first, how will we be able to see those pitfalls over there to help anyone over there?
Right,
I just don't understand how we are going to be able to help
Okay,
somebody.
I'll tell you how. By joining together and working together. We in the Ansar Allah community, if you've seen our latest newspaper, you can see what we're doing on the inside.
Right.
We are building. So we don't consider ourselves as doing bad. Or our problem is convincing more of our own with qualifications to come. We need our own gynecologists, dermatologists, ophthalmologists, pediatricians. We need our own shoemakers, hat makers, tailors, seamstresses. We need our own everything. But black people rather be on the outside of a working community and talk about what they heard takes place in here than to come in here and find out for themselves and help us build. They rather go to some dude named Abdul from Queens who says, I used to be there, and I heard they do this, and I heard they do that, and he still lives in the projects. Right. You understand? He's still on welfare. But they won't come on the inside of here and work out with us and start, because the more y'all come in, the stronger we get. The more you bring in, the more we have to produce. And the more black people we reach. But as long as you're on the outside looking in, you can't see the power of the Ansar Allah growing. Because we're spending so much time trying to get y'all to come in and join that y'all are not seeing what we have here. We are a very advanced community. I mean, from computer technology straight on out. Don't you see the books coming out like bam, bam, bam? How sophisticated, how do they look?
Yeah, they look good. But
Those
see, that's the exact point that I'm making.
You
know, I can see the Ansars doing it from the inside out, and how you're trying to bring everybody in. And I'm coming across the same type of problem when I'm out in the community trying to talk to other people about the African.
Come on home and let me do the talking. I talk better than you.
Yeah, you do. You talk
Let
back
me
to
do
me.
it. Come on
That's
home
true.
and help me from the inside by typing some of these books and laying out these things and raising these black kids so they don't get that, you know what you saw on television earlier? So they don't get that image of white supremacy in their mind. And let me, I obviously was raised up to do the talking, because one thing I do good is talk. So
I give that to you, Imam Isa, but you can't be everywhere at one time.
I can be everywhere at one time. That's why they have international media. That's why right now, while I'm talking here, they're listening to me in Philadelphia and in Chicago and in Trinidad and in Barbados and all over the world, because we can do that now. And the bigger we get, then eventually we will satellite it. And not only will they be listening to me, they'll be looking at me, and they'll be able to ask questions at one time. And then when I step down, I got 5 grown sons all speaking Arabic ready to come in. I'm not alone. I'm not going to make the same mistake other leaders make. I'm grooming my sons to step in where I step down. You follow? And they are sharper than I am. So if they think they got a problem with me, they ain't seen nothing yet. Okay? But my thing is, my people won't support me. The people wrote a book about me and created a bunch of lies, and I answered the book, and you still didn't come home. Still on the outside talking in. They said he did this, he does this, he did this, he was born here, I know the truth, I know this. I said, well, here's facts, here's the proof, here's pictures, here's dates, here's mathematics, here's the quotes. And y'all are still outside saying, one day I'm coming in. What do I have to do to make you realize it? So you know the next thing I'm doing?
What's that?
I'm writing a book. And it's called 360 Questions to Ask an Orthodox Sunni Muslim. It has about 900 questions in it or more. But we say 360. You know why?
Why?
Because I'm saying to you people now, if you don't believe that I am the one that Allah has raised up from the east unto the west to reform you, then take this book out there and ask anybody to answer these questions. And when they can't, and they can't, then I will. And then if you still don't join in, then you deserve whatever the white man does to you. Okay. If after this book gets out there and you start asking their white Arab friends and their red Arab friends, what is this and where is this and how is this, and they say, I don't know. The only thing they're going to say is, he's crazy, he's anti-Islam, he's not a Muslim. You say, yeah, beside all that, answer this question.
Right. Right. But Imam Isa, all right, like for example, right now you talking to me and you talking to this group of people that's here and all those other places that you just named. But when we all leave from here and when this here finishes being broadcasted or whatever, and you get into individual conversations with people that have never stepped foot over here, don't know what an Ansar community is, don't understand their blackness, don't want to relate to Africa, don't want to relate to Islam, don't even want to relate to the fact that they're black, period, you know, and they think that they're better than some of their other black brothers and sisters, you know, and you are not there, all right?
But listen to this.
And I have to talk to these people.
Yeah, but you don't have to do that. You know why? Because if you were here and 100,000 more of you were here, we would intimidate the white man so much that he'll start telling Uncle Remus and them how he really feels about them. The problem is there's still somebody for the white man to reason with and to talk to. There's still Negroes still going to lunch with him and hanging out with him. If everybody was in here and this community would start to expand across Bushwick, on down to Bedford-Stuyvesant, and they'd be seeing white veils and white robes and us moving and patrolling all over the place, our own businesses, then those black people out there will become the object of the joke. The white man will turn on them because of you, because that's what they need. They need to turn around one day and see the white man for what he really is. They're afraid to because they got a job. You understand? Me and you got to do that by becoming such a strong force that everywhere they look, they see one of us. Mm-hmm. And then when they see a Negro who don't look like one of us, he wants to ask him, then what are you? Mm-hmm. Why haven't you woken up? Everybody else is awoke. Right. That's the only way to do it. I understand exactly what you're saying. Yeah. There's that sister across town now in the Albany Project sitting on the second floor. They're saying, I ain't getting caught up in all that old black stuff. Yeah. She will have no choice when we are providing food, clothes, shelter, and as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad so clearly put it, which will breed love, peace, and happiness. When they see a healthy community for their kids. We have Arabic classes now here for people on the outside. Sisters come here and bring their kids. Right? We are building the nation from the inside and the out now. There is no more excuses.
Okay, I'm not making excuses.
No, not you. Not you. I'm talking about those people out there. They have no excuses. The gates are open. You understand? You can be outside and participate inside. Study your Arabic, bring your sister, your kids here, bring your wives here, sisters teach them Arabic. It's all laid out for you. Now if they don't respond, lakum dinukum waliyadi. To them be their judgment and us be ours. Because then we're entitled to get what the white man gives us if we don't see this opportunity. Anybody can see that what the Ansar Allah community is doing is working. Because I was impressed this morning because I listened to a sister who came to the mic. I think she's the first sister. You know what was most impressive about what she was doing? She kept saying the Amorite, the Amorite. She wasn't saying the white man.
Right.
And the white man hears her in college saying the Amorite, the Amorite.
Right.
You know what he says? Uh-oh. They know who we are now. We're no longer lily white and pure and clean like Mr. Clean. We are the Amorite. Then she'll start saying the Canaanite, the Canaanite. And then he'll say, she even knows we have the curse. That means Ansar Allah is moving. The Nubian nation is on the move. What does Adam look like, y'all? What does Isaac look like? Abraham, Moses, Jesus, Muhammad, you. We on the move. Our flag is flying high. We doing good. All we got to do is come together and work outward like a nucleus and keep multiplying themselves. And like the brother said, and there ain't in plain, simple black language, and there ain't no stopping us now.
Right.
You done blew. You took too long. You were so busy worrying about my brother Minister Louis Farrakhan and how to stop him, and you're so busy worrying about my friend in Florida, Yahweh Ben Yahweh, imprisoning him, you overlooked the real one. That's why they said he's going to come like a thief in the night. I was here all the time when the Honorable Elijah Muhammad was here, just waiting my turn.
Right.
I was just sitting in the wings, waiting the shot, waiting for the day. And now, the day has come.
Right.
Truth has arrived. False things will perish. The reformer is here. Not is coming, is here. And I will reform. And the first means of reformation is to get those white images out your head and get the dignity and the identity of a supreme being back in there. So you walk straight up, nose straight, and proud to be who you are. Get your garbs on. Women, if you ain't going to put no veil on, put a long skirt on. Cover your bodies up. Get ready. Start to read Arabic. Start to get it. Forget them African study courses. Because they know some Uncle Tom in most cases got a white wife, like the sister said. The guy in charge of the African organizational club got a white girlfriend. They don't love the white man. They can't break away from the slave master. He's one pushing the crumbs off the table on the floor for them to eat. That's what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad taught. But no. You know how he said, come forth, Lazarus. You were in a tomb. Rigor mortis had already set in, brothers and sisters. You have been mentally dead for a long time. And I'm saying to you, like Jesus said to Lazarus, come forth, Lazarus. And I ask Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give me the strength to resurrect you from the mental dead. Come forth, Lazarus. Come to life, everlasting. Join amongst your own and build the Nubian nation. Then we have the option to either go home or make this our home, because it doesn't belong to either me or the white man. It belongs to the Indian. You understand what I'm saying?
Yes, I understand what you're saying.
But we can't let them make us get discouraged and stop believing, because without faith there's no hope. And I see, and I know you see, when you walk the streets, you see people in pendants. And now we got jackets out. We're trying to put anything out to keep the name going across. And with the name Nubian Nation, they're like that brother standing, a couple of people got the flag with the Ankh. He got a couple of symbols on his chest. But in the midst of there is that flag, black, red, and green. And I'm not saying red, black, and green. We didn't make no mistake. We didn't say red, black, and green. We're saying black, red, and green. And when you see people say, we're not wearing no doggone Jamaican flag, so take off the yellow and the green, because that was given to you by the white man. We're wearing black, red, and green. And the reason why black is first and not red is because the red on the flag symbolizes blood. We do not, I repeat, we do not intend to bleed again.
Right.
So we have removed the black and put the black first and put the red second. Because you will not do to us what you've done to us. Now let me go back and make something clear. Do you know that when brothers join into Sunni Islam, that they're back in the slave trade? See, it was the Arabs that sold you into slavery. So now if some brother in America accepts money from one of those organizations, money for blacks in America, he is now becoming John Hawkins. He's receiving money to sell you back under their rule so you can back their philosophy on Islam. Don't you see that if the brother Bilal Phillips gets paid to try to make us unite with them, it's another form of the Arab slave trade? If the brother Siraj Wahaj is trying to get money to build a mosque on Bedford, then they're going to send into them their kind of teachers with their kind of doctrine, and they're going to be back in an Arab slave trade. And we all got to pray that Minister Louis Farrakhan does not get tempted by that beast and fall victim to him. And also, keep praying for me. If they don't also get me. I'm not saying that he's no weaker than I am or no stronger than I am. The devil is busy.
Right.
I have no intentions of talking to him. So it's going to be real difficult for him to convince me to do anything. Because I don't want to go to their meetings. I don't want to meet them. I don't want them to ask me for nothing. And I don't want nothing from them. You can be assured I'm going to say, get lost. Y'all got people worshiping the Kaaba and adoring the Kaaba and kissing the black stone and throwing rocks at brick figures and saying that they're throwing rocks at the devil. Ain't no more religion of Abraham over there. You got the religion of the pagan Arabs there. And I'm not going to adhere to that. And it said the sun will rise in the west. You are the sun. You are rising in the west. You may not speak Arabic well, but you know what the prophecy said? Hear and obey, even if a man is an Ethiopian. And the Ethiopians were not speaking Arabic. You are the saviors. You are the body of Christ. Do you understand? This may sound like what Word of D. Muhammad said. He said it, but he didn't understand it because he wasn't listening to his father. You are the body of the Christ. You are the resurrection. You are the truth. You are the light. You understand that? And all you got to do is get prepared like a bride for the groom, and the Messiah will return for you. That's all you have to do is get prepared. Get in your bride's gown. And women, even in Christianity, they told you when you get married to put on a veil. They don't know nothing about the veil except for when they come to marriage, then they throw on a little veil and say it represents purity and virginity. Well, it also represents what's said in the book of Revelation where Jesus said the end of the world is like the marriage supper of the Lamb. You read that before? It said you got to be prepared like a bride, preparing yourself for that. Well, that veil is part of it. I know you're pretty. I know you don't want to cover your face. But covering your face is unveiling your heart. You understand that? And what I mean by covering your face is unveiling your heart. That means when you cover your face, people have to judge you by your heart, not by your looks. So Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala